So I went to see my grandfather today, and I'm guilty of not seeing him in a long time. When I went to see him today, it was because someone had told me that if I didn't see him soon, I was probably not going to see him again, right? He's 81, so he's had a good run, right? He's not like dying young or anything like. He's 81, but he's had a good run. But the thing is something happened to him about 10, 15 years ago, right? Where he was driving. And let me give you some context first. He's a little Jamaican man, full on thick Jamaican accent. You can barely understand him if you don't understand patois. Like full of life, full of love, full of energy. He was always dancing at the parties. He was always laughing at his own jokes and just always laughing. That's what I remember growing up, is his unique little deep laugh. You know what I mean? And it's just an infectious man. Everybody loved to see him. Everybody loved to be around him. But like I say, 10, 15 years ago, somewhere between, he got into a road accident where a cyclist had managed to get in front of him and they collided. The guy came off his bike, had to go to the hospital, but he was fine. Like the next day he was out, a few scrapes and whatever. But the good man that my grandfather is, right, he's never been in trouble with the police. He's never, done anybody wrong, never done any harm to anybody that I know of. Obviously, everybody has their own history and whatever, but as far as I know, he's always been a good person. He worked 3 jobs up until he was like 60 something. He just full of life, full of energy, full of everything that makes you love a person. And then he had this accident and he blamed himself and started thinking he was a bad person, and it just started affecting him mentally, and he wouldn't go out anymore. And when people came over, he would just stay in his room, and it's been like that for 10, 15 years, just laying on his bed, coming out for 5, 10 minutes here and there. But these are meant to be the twilight years of his life, his last few years, where mental health affected him. Mental health essentially ruined his last few years, that he could have been out there catching up with his friends and like I say, seeing family and going to family parties and just enjoying himself. And mental health took that away from him. I went to see him today. He was just laying on the bed, just sideways, his legs are hanging off the bed, he's skinny, his face is in. And my mother spoke to him. She went to see him yesterday, and was my dad's dad, but he always got on really well with my mum. Him and my mum just really understood each other, type of thing. And my mum said, "Oh, you look tired." He said, "I'm more than tired. I don't want to be here anymore." He's given up now. And because he's wasting away, coupled with the fact now that he's given up, it ain't gonna be long, right? Fuck. Oh, it ain't gonna be long. And there's a few messages I want to say. I want to say, make the most. Oh, fuck's sake. Big man on camera, yeah? Crying. Fuck. Make the most of the time you've got with people, because you never know. And another one is, don't let one thing in your life define you. You did something bad, debatably whatever, or something bad happened. Don't let that shit define you. Don't let that shit eat you up. You're meant to enjoy your life. They say, the best times of your life are when you're young or whatever, when you're in school and you ain't got no worries. But it's not. The best time in your life is now. The future. What can you do? What can you build? What can you make happen? What can you enjoy right now, type of thing. And he kind of lost all that opportunity because, like I say, mental health took that away from him. And I know there's no fix. I know there's no just stop suffering from mental health. There's how. You know what I mean? But just get some help, speak to someone, make the effort, just try. Because an incredible man, give me a sec. An incredible man wasted the last few years of his life because of mental health. And We think it's only going to be a few days, weeks, months. We don't know. The doctors haven't said. The poor bastard had a stroke the other day and nobody knew. He's just been... Just make the most of the time you got now. Appreciate people. Do something about your mental health. Talk to someone, speak to someone, whatever. I don't know, man. I'll speak to you soon. Don't get mad, get motivated. Don't stress success.